Cromwell Tools is an industry-leading supplier of tooling and PPE equipment. I'm currently the Commercial Director for Cromwell Tools, and in principle my role is to ensure that Cromwell make money. Rebates are often the difference between making money and not making money. It helps us secure the profitability of our sales and are really, really important, particularly in this industry. We have a variety of rebates that we need to manage within Cromwell. Some of them are quite simple percentage back off the spend. Other times there'll be dependencies on marketing funds, complex product segments, customer segments. It's a really wide variance for us. At Cromwell, we use our rebates to ensure that we get as much profit into our business as possible. We have two forms of rebates. We have those that will work with the suppliers, where they pay us based on our spend, but we also pay out rebate from our customers in an effort to incentivise their spend as well. So we use rebates from two perspectives, one from a supplier and one from our customers, both with different objectives. So with our suppliers, we really want to get as much control of our profit as possible while protecting cost prices. So that's one key objective. The other objective with the customer is to ensure that we influence their buying behaviour. So for example, if they're getting quite close to a bracket in their rebate, we want to encourage them to spend. Managing rebates is a real tough administrative task. Today we operate with around 300 to 400 suppliers that pay us rebates, and we also have around 80 customers that we pay rebates out based on their spend. I have quite a small team, so it was important that I was able to automate all of that, notwithstanding the fact that a lot of that information and the way of doing things was in their head, so it became a big risk for us and something we needed to tackle. When we were managing rebates before we brought Enable on board, a lot of the tooling was Excel based. So we had single source of failure. It was very complicated, a lot of in-house coding and automation. So we could get the job done, but it was a little clunky, not to mention that single point of failure if something was to happen to the person that had built all of that. So that's something we were really keen to remove from our risk register, if you like, as a business. So before Enable, we would rely on the suppliers to tell us roughly where we were coming out in terms of payment. And this made it a real challenge for us to accurately accrue. And sometimes it was great because we'd end up getting more than what we were thought, but other times it went the other way. Regardless, it's a challenge on both sides, and it's tough to manage the profitability when you're not in complete control of that overview. The collaborator feature within Enable will ensure that both sides of the rebate parties are able to keep on top of things. It will make things really transparent, and both parties will be able to see everything throughout the entire negotiation process. The watchlist feature in Enable is a really powerful feature. It tells us when we should have more conversations with suppliers, but equally where we might speak to customers and tell them they're quite close to thresholds and get them to spend a bit more money. That for me is the best feature in Enable. For me, Enable was a market leader in what it was set up to do and operate in a really niche environment. I was also really encouraged by who else was on their books. They've got some fantastic companies with similar problem statements, so that really encouraged me to proceed with Enable. The biggest intangible benefit we've seen by onboarding Enable is the freeing up of time and also protecting the risks around knowledge within certain people. I have a particular person in my function that's been managing rebates in one way or another across around 4 to 5 jobs. Because that knowledge was in her, it was difficult to properly release. But now we've got it all in Enable, we're able to allow her to focus on other things and continue her personal development within the business. Having the executive dashboard within Enable means that both myself and my team don't have to do any extra work to push that information up into our leadership team. It means that they're informed and they can help make those decisions and ensure that we've got the resource needed to go and make the best out of the year in terms of rebates. The fact that Enable is able to give us that information real time means that we can move really quickly with the right actions. We have a number of category managers that need to understand where to put their focus and energy, particularly as we want to see the year out. Q4 is often the time when many businesses will try and bridge the gap back to where our plans were. Having it real time means that we can move straight to conversation rather than spending weeks and weeks trying to understand the situation in its entirety. Having Enable as our single source of truth means that we can move really fast. We don't have to worry too much about the transparency issues that we used to face, and we can also focus on making the right decisions with the right suppliers at the right time. So having Enable integrated within our team has saved us around 75% of the administrative time involved in managing rebates, both on the supplier side and the customer side. The support from Enable has been really impressive. There have been times where we needed to be sped up, and they helped us with that. Equally, they were really humble and working at our pace as well when things were getting a bit tough for us. So overall, I couldn't have asked for any more. They were fantastic. I would highly recommend Enable, first and foremost, because of the partnership that they offer. It really felt like an extension of my own team, and they really helped us to move at pace. But notwithstanding that, just the tool and what it's set up to do to help us drive profit is critical in such a competitive market space.